there, Sue Wilson back again today with a new video offering for you. I've got a card that's really, really easy. There's actually quite a bit going on here that I'm going to break down into steps for you, but you can use this for all sorts of different occasions, which is why I think it's a great card for the video. So just to give you a quick introduction to what we'll be using today, I'm going to be using one of our new smaller embossing folders called Rambling Berries, the Apple Blossom die, the Special Day with the Ornate Oval, the Classic Vase, the Tranquil Poppy, and finally the Wild Rose. I think I'll start with the embossing first. So I'm going to use the little folder here, a little piece of white, coconut white card. Pop that in the center. Now, because this is a smaller size of folder, the sandwich is a little bit different. We're going to put it onto our base plate, cover it with a tan mat, and use the white adapter plate. And run it through our grand caliber. There we go. Those off to the side, and so you can see the beautiful embossing on that. Now I'll let you in on a little secret. This is technically a Christmas design, but I just love the way it looks, and I think you can use it for any occasion, so I've decided to put it onto today's card. So I'm going to use a little bit of double-sided tape. We're going to add it onto our mat. Get it nice and stuck down. Okay, pop that right onto another larger mat that I've done. A little bit of white on white there. And I'm going to go ahead and put this onto our base card I prepared earlier. And I've done a little bit of just scoring with some alternate or some different length of score lines down there, just to kind of put something up into that corner. Just a nice little addition once in a while to do something different, I think. Pop this up with some mounting foam. And just center that right onto the left side of our card. Okay, that's good to go. Now tidy this up. So next, I'm going to show you a little bit of a different, kind of a different take on the classic vase. So I've got the vase cut out with just the outside die here by itself out of white. And I'm going to use a little bit of tumbled glass with one of our smoothies and just very lightly bring a pale, pale blue tint to it. Ever so light. There we go. Okay. And that will give it the look of glass. I think it'll be really pretty. So I'm going to use some spray glue for this. It'll be quicker. Give it a quick spray. So I'm going to do a white on white with that really pale blue coming through. Give that a second to set up. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use our Cosmic Lacquer. And this is just a real nice clear lacquer. And we're going to fill in this area. And one of the things you might want to do when you're using the lacquer is bring in a little piece of copy paper or something just to make sure you don't have any air bubbles. And just fill in this extra area. Like this. And now you can see I'm not being real fussy about going over the lines or anything, and I'll show you why. There's all sorts of fun cheats you can do so you can be a little bit quicker about this. So let me just finish filling that in. Now you'll need to set this aside to dry. Okay, so I'm just going to pop it back out of the way, and I've got one here that I've done earlier that's dried. But because I've gone over those lines a little bit, what you want to do is bring another vase in, and we'll give it a quick spray with the glue. And that will hide all of those areas where you've gone over the edge. Just get that lined up straight. And I've given it a little bit of a curve to it, so let me just line that up nice and straight there. So you can see how pretty that looks, and you have just a little bit of that pale blue coming through. I really like the way that looks. Okay, so we'll give that a second to get set up, and we'll move forward to our flowers. So I've got our poppy and our wild rose and apple blossom here. I'm going to bring in some worn lipstick and some Tattered Rose and a little bit of Forest Moss. So let me just pop these over. Okay, so I'm going to do the tops of the flowers with the Tattered Rose and the worn lipstick. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a inking here with our smoothie. And because these flowers are debossed, you get a really pretty ink that catches on the top part more so than on the bottom, obviously. Put a little bit on here. Just catch the little bit of these. Now the other thing is these smoothies have a nice little point, so if you want to get down into the areas on these flowers, you can do that too. Just catch the tops of those. Okay. And I'm going to go over to the worn lipstick to do my poppy, a little bit brighter there. And just put a center with that little pointed area into my rose there. And some on the tips of those little buds coming out, maybe in the very center of those. Okay, so pop those to the side. And we will use our Forest Moss here. And just put a little bit onto the stems. Like I said, use that tip if you want to get more into that area there. Bring that across. Just a real quick job. You can obviously do a little bit smoother of a job if you're doing this at home. Taking your time. There we go. Let's get the leaves nice and green on that rose. And last on our poppy. There we go. A little bit extra on that. Right up to the top. Not bad for a quick job, I think. Okay. So it's up to you. If you want to add a little more color to it, then you certainly could do that. All right, so I'm going to put those onto my vase here. Peel the backing off, and we're just going to kind of do a little bit of an arrangement. Pop that one about like that. And actually, I tell you what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to take off this little side leaf. Pop that one there so you can see that one a little bit better. And this one coming off the side. So we'll just pick them up right in the center of our vase, hopefully. There we go. I like that. Add a tiny bit of glue to the back here. Just to make it more secure. There we go. Here's our card. Put that right onto our embossed area. Okay. Now on the sentiment, what I've done is I've gone ahead and cut out the ornate oval, and I'm going to do a bit of inking with that as well. So I'm going to bring in my Tattered Rose, and I want to tie in that color. So I'm just going to go around the edges here and ink my white card with my smoothie. There we go. Get that nice and even. And something I didn't do on the original, but I think would look really nice. Let's bring in a little bit of that worn lipstick just around the edge. We'll just pick that up and kind of go in a little bit. So the edge of that white is going to kind of cover the very edge of that. So I just want to tip it in a tiny bit darker as I go around. Just moving it inside of that area a little bit more. Okay. You can smooth it out nice with the smoothies. I think that'll be really pretty like that. All right. So make sure that's good and dry before you try and glue to it. So give it a quick blast with the heat tool. There we go. And I've gone ahead and cut this, so I'm going to use a little bit of spray glue on it. Pop it into place. There. So there we go. Nice and stuck. And I've gone ahead and done a couple of the on your special day. Now, I've always, whenever I do sentiments, I always cut 2 and put them on top of each other, at least 2, depending on how much you want to layer them up, because they're very delicate and a lot of filigree work in there. So I like to give it a little bit more stability. So we'll pop that in the center. Give that a second to set up, and I'm going to add a piece of mounting foam to the back of this. We'll start to get this one ready, and that's going to set off to the side on my card a little bit. So we're going to put a little glue on this edge and just have it catch this bottom corner of that embossing. And that should be enough to set it right in there nicely. There we go. And finish off with a bow. I've got a seam binding bow, and I've used just a little, one of these little Dazzlers that we have out of the gold selection in the center to hide the knot. Pop that right into that corner. There we go. Lovely. So pretty. Very, very quick and easy to do. You can add a little more color like I did on my first one, or you can keep it nice and pale like that, your choice. But you can see how easy they are to ink up. Hope you've enjoyed this, and look at my blog for some more ideas. It's www.partycraft.blogspot.com, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.